Okay guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. This is going to be the first of 3 videos I'm going to make in this series. But this is going to be my top 10 PlayStation 1 games of all time. I'm going to do the same for PS2 and PS3 as well. But yeah guys, this is PS1. And I was originally going to do a top 20, like what I've done in the past. But I thought it would take a bit longer. The video would be a bit longer. So I thought I'd try and narrow it down to top 10. And there's a few games that are basically missing on this list, which I'm actually quite guilty about leaving out, but we'll get to them as I go on. I've got rules as well, 1 game per franchise, so all the Resident Evil games would be in there. But yeah, 1 game per franchise. And to be honest guys, the way I look at a top 10, in my personal opinion, is if I could only play 10 PlayStation 1 games for the rest of my life, these would be the 10 games I would choose. I would hate to have that kind of, be in that situation, because there's so many games on the PS1 that I absolutely adore. I'll say some games just missed out on the top 10, and I feel really guilty about it. But before we get started guys, I've got a few mentions. There's going to be no sports games, but if there was, FIFA 98 would be in, because it's my favourite football game of all time, as well as SmackDown 2, which is my favourite wrestling game of all time. So I've decided not to put sports games in, so I just thought I'd give them a bit of a mention. And there's also a few things that I've not played, or I've not played through. I've still got a Final Fantasy 7 and I've not played through it. So I know it's a popular game, and it could make the top 10 if I play through it. Who knows? But that's obviously not going to be in the list because I've not played it. Well, not played much of it. I played like the first half an hour. I've not got Silent Hill. I know Silent Hill 1's like a big, thing. It's really popular. I've not played that, so I thought I'd give them a little bit of a mention since they're popular, and obviously they've not made it on the list. So anyway guys, we'll start off with my favourite game of all time, which is at the bottom of the pile, believe it or not. And these are in no order, these are just top 10. I've got my favourite one, but apart from that, they're in no particular order, it's just top 10. Better just get this out of the way. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, it's a bit beaten up as you can see. It's my original copy. £30 brand new. I don't want to switch the case just because of that. I don't know if that's like an OCD thing, but it's got its original price on what I paid for it when I was younger. My favourite game of all time, so for me, I don't care how battered the case is, But yeah guys, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is just bloody fantastic. I've played this game, or completed this game, I would say probably at least 35 times. Which, to be honest guys, is not an exaggeration. Not an exaggeration in the slightest. My current save file that I've got with this, it wasn't my original save file when I was younger, but my current save file has got 24 completions. So I've completed the game 24 times on my current save file. And when I was younger I had another save file. I think I got to 12, 13, something like that. So like I say guys, I've completed this at least 35 times. This game for me is just an absolute stunner. Favourite game of all time, obviously favourite game in the Resident Evil series, and of course favourite game on PS1. And yeah guys, just a fantastic game, I love Resident Evil 2 as well. It's really close, but for me Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is my favourite game on the PS1 and favourite game of all time, because Nemesis is just a bloody beast. Love the locations in the game, love how you can mix gunpowders to create different types of grenade rounds. But adds a bit of customization, and the Nemesis fights just pretty damn epic. So Resident Evil 3 Nemesis guys, always puts a smile on my face talking about it because I love it so much. Next game guys is another series which is just absolutely fantastic, and it was difficult to choose between two. It's difficult to choose between 2 games as well. But I've chosen this one, and it is Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. The game that's even close to this is Crash 2, Cortex Strikes Back. Again, fantastic game. But for me, I do slightly prefer Crash 3. I do slightly prefer the levels, the music. I don't know. I just prefer Crash 3. But like I say, there's not much in it. Crash 2 and 3 are just fantastic games. There's only a couple levels I don't like the flying levels and motorbike levels, but the other levels are just absolutely fantastic. You get some pretty damn cool special moves you can learn as well. You get like a rocket launcher or Wumpa fruit launcher. You can see like fires apples. But no, Wumpa fruit, he fires them. You can unlock that later in the game. You can unlock like a double jump. You can get some running shoes for completing the game. So basically you can do the time trials by, running. It's pretty cool, guys. I do like the special moves that you learn. There's like a little twisting thing you can do, like spins for bloody ages. But yeah, guys, Crash 3, absolutely fantastic game. So it's got to be in my top 10. While we're on the topic of platformers, again, another absolutely breathtaking series. For me, I would say this isn't even close to the other games, in my opinion. This is in a world of its own. Is Spyro You the Dragon. I've not played Spyro 2, by the way. I've played Spyro 1. I do like Spyro 1, don't get me wrong, but for me this game is just leaps and bounds ahead. I just absolutely love this game to death. Most of the mini games are really, really fun. Like you play as like additional characters like Bentley, Sergeant Bird. Didn't really like playing as Agent 9 very much, but both Sergeant Bird and Bentley, two pretty damn good characters. Also like Sheila the kangaroo, some pretty good levels with Sheila as well. And you can even fight a metallic shark, which is just epic. Jaws. But yeah, guys, Spyro the Dragon, guys. There's a few mini games that I don't like the tanks. There's one with tanks. It's pain in the bloody arse. I can say, guys, level designs, the music, in my opinion, is leaps and bounds ahead of Spyro 1. I still like Spyro 1, but for me, this game is my favourite Spyro game of all time, and it makes the top 10. So, Spyro the Dragon, or Spyro 3. Shame Crash Bandicoot and Spyro both went, downhill, sadly. Next game is, a lot of people would probably have picked the second one, but I grew up with the first one, and for me it was just like one of the most addictive things ever, and it is the original Gran Turismo. Just an absolutely fantastic game. The fact that you could save up credits to buy your own cars. In my opinion, it was breathtaking. It was a fantastic idea. It was like a real driving simulator. And later down the line, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I did pick up Gran Turismo 2. And Gran Turismo 2's got far more content. But I don't know why, I just think there's something about the original Gran Turismo that's got a certain charm. It's just, it's breathtaking, It's one of my favourite racing games of all time. I don't know if it's my favourite racing game of all time. I don't know. I like Gran Turismo 3 and 4 on the PS2. But as far as PS1 goes, my favourite racing game on PS1 is Gran Turismo. Just an absolute blast. There's the back there as well. I always remember playing through the same tournament over and over again, like 20 times or something, just to save up enough money to get one of those, really, really fast cars. And I look back and I'm like, how the bloody hell did I do that? I don't know how I didn't find that boring. I was racing in a Honda Prelude, a black Honda Prelude. See, I remember it, I remember it as if it was yesterday, guys. A black Honda Prelude, just completing the same tournament over and over again. I got one of those cars that was like 500,000 credits. I got it and I couldn't bloody control it. It was too bloody fast. But for me, guys, it was just absolutely fantastic. It's one of those memories that I'm not going to forget. Puts a smile on my face just to think about it. Saving up and taking up so much time to save up, getting a fantastic car, and couldn't keep it on the track. But yeah, Gran Turismo, bloody breathtaking. I'm going to say breathtaking quite a lot because I love all these games. I love talking about these games. These games are bloody awesome. I was very late to the party with this one. I only got it about a year or two ago, but I'm already putting it in my top 10. It's the original Metal Gear Solid. I'm still quite ashamed to admit that it took me so long to actually get Metal Gear Solid. 1 or 2 years ago, that's like, being 21-year-old and still not playing Metal Gear Solid. Being such a huge fan of the PS1 and not playing Metal Gear Solid, it's a crime. It is a real bloody crime. Because this game is bloody fantastic. The dialogue is just absolutely brilliant. You know, the characters, fantastic. Locations, gameplay for me is just brilliant. It's you know, it's the best stealth game of all time. You know, I mean, it's my favourite Metal Gear Solid game, and not far behind that is Metal Gear Solid 3, and it's snakier. But for me, guys, there's just something about this. The stealth just works so well. It's actually really funny as well, because I mean, like the way enemies respond to like listening to your movements, and that's quite funny. Because like, what was that noise? Just a box. You can like hide under a box, and you know, it's just got its own little, you know, charm. I just absolutely love it, guys. There's like 2 different endings you can get, and I just have to show you this as well, guys, because I just absolutely love the discs. Because I've got the black label, absolutely fantastic discs. Really good, you know, design. Even the cover. I mean, it looks like, I don't know, just a close up of Snake's face. But there's something about the cover that's just really, you know, distinctive. You can never forget that cover. But yeah, guys, anyway, Metal Gear Solid, guys, I'm going to just ramble on and on. But yeah, absolutely fantastic game. You know, if you've played it, you know, you probably agree. It's easily one of the best games on the PlayStation. Next game is, our next 2 games are 2 fighting games, which I've talked about quite a few times before. So you probably know what fighting games are, but I'll start off with my second favourite fighting game on the PS1, and that is Tekken 3. What a game. What a game. I keep saying that about all these games, but what a game. So many different characters, you know, and the characters are really fun to play as well. And obviously, compared to Tekken 2, the gameplay is a lot faster, looks a lot smoother. You know, I do like Tekken 2, but for me it's a bit slow paced. And Tekken 1, not really a big fan of Tekken 1. But this game, they've really stepped it up in my opinion. A lot faster, a lot smoother, great characters. Like, well, maybe not Gon, that little annoying Agumon wannabe, he's a bloody pain in the backside. But like Ogre, True Ogre, my favourite character of all time, Brian Fury. Also Jin Kadama, or Kazama, whatever you call him. You know, just a whole load of absolutely fantastic, you know, characters. And for me, guys, this plays so damn well. And it's one of those games, guys, you can just pick up and play it every now and again. It's one of those games that I would never get bored of. It's an absolutely breathtaking game. Is Tekken 3. Easily my favourite game in the Tekken series. And what could be better, fighting game wise, what could be better than Tekken 3? You may ask. Soul Blade. Yeah, absolutely love Soul Blade. I think it's just because it was like the first like fighting game I played. And when I was younger, when I first got the PS1, I didn't have many games, and Soul Blade was one of those games that I just kept playing all the time. It was a blast, you know. It was one of my early games I got on the PS1, along with like, well, Crash Bandicoot 1, which I'm not a really big fan of. Tekken 2 I think I got quite early. Resident Evil 1 of course. You know, Resident Evil 1, you know how I feel about Resident Evil, classic Resident Evil, it's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, Soul Blade, just kept playing it over and over again. Absolutely fantastic game. You know, you've not got many characters. I mean, when you compare it to like Tekken 3, it's got like, I don't know, 28 characters maybe? Maybe, I don't know, 22 at least. Whereas this has only got like 10 characters, but for me guys, it's just a blast to play. You know, I'm not a big fan of Voldo. Voldo's a pain in the arse. Probably one of my first video game crushes as well is Sophia. I don't know if you can see her there. She's like like a Greek goddess. Yeah, I had a bit of a crush on Sophia, I'm not gonna lie. I still do in Soul Calibur. She's a goddess. How can you not like her? Yeah, Soul Blade, great game. 2 favourite characters, or 3 favourite characters are Siegfried, Li Long, and of course Sophia. It's all great characters. So yeah, Soul Blade, fighting game with weapons, and it's just a blast, guys. I've said blast again. I'm sure I've said that for like every game. Now we get into the games that are maybe not games you'd expect me to put on the list. But if you know me, if you know me long enough, you'll probably know that I've just got to put this on. Digimon World. Yeah. hugely addicted to this when I was younger. I had a next door neighbour that used to go to the same primary school as me. We used to like play this like all day. It was just a blast, you know, it was just an absolute blast. Like raising your own Digimon, going out of your way to try and like find Digimon to like defeat and recruit to your city. Build up your city to like open up new shops, open up an arena, open up a restaurant, a clinic. It was like you just like build up the city, build up the city's reputation by recruiting Digimon, but you can find scattered throughout the whole island. It's just a great game, guys. You know, it's just something about it. It's just absolutely brilliant. You know, quite a bit of frustration with it though when I was young because I kept getting blooming Numemon, that stupid green slug thing. But the good thing about Numemon is if you go to Toy Town, you can basically, well, it's like slimy, you know, so you can like slip into this Monzemon costume and then evolve to an Ultimate Digimon, which is Monzemon. I always relied on Monzemon to complete the game because I was crap at raising like ultimates and stuff. I'm still you know, I cannot raise an ultimate to save myself. So the last couple of times I've played this, I've basically just completed the game with a champion. I've raised a Greymon and just, you know, save up bits and things and just buy loads and loads of recovery items. I mean, it's perfectly doable, you know, if you do it that way. Just like raise or basically train your HP and your attack and stuff, and you will get a pretty damn powerful champion. And obviously, with like all the offense chips and that you get, you can, you know, boost his stats even more. But yeah, guys, Digimon World, what a game! Absolutely fantastic. And like I say, really addicted to it when I was younger, and I still go back and play it because it's just a blast. It really is. Another blast. It's all a blast. Next game, guys, is our Capcom series. And the first game I wasn't a huge fan of. It had great potential. I was a big fan of dinosaurs. It had absolutely fantastic potential, but there was so many puzzles and not enough action. Whereas this game, guys, no puzzles. It's not a survival horror game now, it's more like an arcadey kind of game. But for me, guys, it's a hell of a lot better. And it is Dino Crisis 2. Quite a, I don't know, expensive game to pick up. Maybe £10 maybe? If you can call it expensive. You know, it's expensive I think for, you know, a PS1 game. But yeah, Dino Crisis 2, in my opinion, big step up. You play as two different characters throughout the game. Regina from the first game and Dylan. I forgot his name for a second, but yeah, Dylan. And yeah, guys, great game. Played it, completed it about 3 times. I've only had this game for like 2 or 3 years, but I've completed it about 3 times. It's an absolutely fantastic game. Loved almost every minute of it. The only thing I didn't like was the underwater section. That was frustrating because your controls are so bloody, you know, your character obviously feels really heavy in the water and you've got these women crocodile type things coming after you. And it was just a pain in the bloody arse, you know, I really didn't like that bit. And like the voice acting and story and that is bumming stupid. But you know, it's, in my opinion, just, it adds to the charm in my opinion. And yeah, absolutely love Dino Crisis 2. Another thing I like about it, guys, is once you complete the game, you unlock like an arena mode. And you can, if you like save up enough points from the main campaign, you can unlock a T-Rex and play as a T-Rex in arena mode. Which is quite bloody fun, you know. I mean, playing as a T-Rex, I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. You can unlock a tank and like a Velociraptor. You can also play as the 2 characters from the first game, Rick and Gale. So you can unlock them to play as them in arena mode. It's basically just like 5 rounds. You know, you have to like clear so many enemies in each round, and then the final boss is like a T-Rex. You've got to take that sucker down. But yeah, guys, in my opinion, Dino Crisis 2, absolutely fantastic game, and Capcom really pulled out the bag with this one. Shame about Dino Crisis 3, that looks like a bag of crap. Which is only on the original Xbox. I don't know, I would have no interest in playing it anyway. It looks bloody awful. But I'd love to see, you know, Dino Crisis series be revived at some point. So anyway, guys, we got on to the last game, and this game just made it. I'm happy that it made it, but I'm also quite sad about leaving a few other games out. I left out Destruction Derby, I left out Hogs of War, I left out Medieval. Medieval 1, absolutely fantastic game, but it just missed out. It just missed out. And this is the game it just missed out to. Pandemonium. Lions upside, sorry about this, guys. Obviously, guys, I'm a big fan of platformers, so that obviously gives it extra points. But even to this day, guys, it's a really, really good looking platformer. I think it's aged like really well. It's kind of like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. They've aged, in my opinion, really, really well. Well, maybe not Crash Bandicoot 1. But yeah, anyway guys, Pandemonium, absolutely fantastic game, quite tough. I mean, you die in 2 hits, and so it's quite unforgiving. And later in the game, especially like the last maybe 6-7 levels, they get really bloody tough. And but yeah guys, still an absolutely fantastic platformer. Not played the second one. For me, the second one doesn't really look that appealing. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be good or not, but for me, the first one is just absolutely fantastic. Just absolutely love it to pieces, guys. It's a Pandemonium. So anyway guys, that is it. That is my top 10 PS1 games of all time. Let me know guys what your top 10 is. Do you agree with any of these? Do you disagree with any of these? Just let me know guys. Always love to hear your guys' opinions. And I'll try and do the PS2 and the PS3 top 10s in the next week or so as well. So anyway guys, hope you've enjoyed this guys. And I will catch you all in the next video. See you guys. Thanks for watching. I don't know why, but I'm kind of having an urge to play a PS1 game. I don't know why. See you guys.